think I'll be ready.
Oh.
I think it'll be just fine.
Yo, what's up, Bengals fans? A big Who Dey to you guys. Welcome to my first at a Who Deyly vlog podcast situation. Really, I just made a cool intro and thought, might as well do a pod. No, I'm kidding. I really didn't want to show you that off, but I thought a good place to start for the first episode might as well be my latest mock draft. I did this today, and got a little bit of love on Twitter. My handle at Mike R. Martis. I don't have one for this channel yet, but it will be coming soon. I got a little bit of love from James Rapine, James and Jake. Love you guys. That Locked on Bengals podcast. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. Or I'm sorry, heard it. Go check it out. I've been on it a couple times, way back months ago. You probably don't remember me being on there, but let's go through this draft and see what we got going on. If you don't know, I spend quite a bit of time. I spend quite a bit of time looking at players and scouting, watching video, reading up on the PFF draft guide, all this stuff. I'm just a little bit of a nerd when it comes to this stuff. So I wanted to take you guys through this. Obviously, you can see right here the picks. But let's take a look at the draft board. Penei Sewell, look, it's not just me. It's everyone in the organization seems to love this guy. I love him too. If you've seen him play, I mean, he broke out as an 18-year-old. That's crazy breakout age. That's right in the wheelhouse of what the Bengals love to do. And if you can see, the only other player that I was, would consider at 5 up here would be Ja'Marr Chase. And Ja'Marr Chase got taken at number 3 by the Dolphins, right? So, no big deal. Love it. Grab the tackle. He slots right in at the right side. And the reason I say the right side is that I think he has a much higher ceiling. I don't want to say the M word, but he's got a Munoz-like ceiling and a very, very high floor. And he's so athletic. He's way more athletic than Jonah Williams. He's so athletic that you kind of need him on that right side in the AFC North, where you're going to be facing, T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett. They rush from there. That's where they rush from. You gotta have a guy out there. We all saw the Bobby Hart experience for too long now. It's time to get an elite athlete out there to stand between these crazy edge rushers and our franchise quarterback Joe Burrow. So that's what we got. Going down the draft board here, you can see it's Christian Barmore. I was thinking, just like everyone else was, man, I'd love to grab me a wide receiver. But if you're looking through here, the top guys all gone in the first round. Elijah Moore taken right at the end of the first round. Kadarius Toney right before the Bengals. I don't see them moving from any of their draft spots, to be honest with you. If they trade down, I think it will be from 5 if and only if Penei Sewell's not there. If Penei Sewell's not there, you may see a trade down. But that's not what this is about. I'm assuming they're staying put. And right here, I could have gone Pat Freiermuth. Pat Freiermuth is, they call him Baby Gronk. That's too high a praise for me. He's got more to prove before he can get to that level. But he's a good tight end. He's good. But he's more athletic than Drew Sample. But he blocks right around that range as Drew Sample does, and he's a next level route runner. So he would be an upgrade. But right here, Christian Barmore is probably the 15th. I mean, PFF has him ranked as on their big board at number 15. If this guy slides, and not only that, he's the number one. He's the number 1 defensive interior player I've seen on every big board. So if you get the number 1 tackle round 1, number 1 defensive interior player round 2, whoa, now we're talking about something. Christian Barmore next to DJ Reader sounds really, really nice, and whatever you can end up getting out of Geno Atkins if they don't end up cutting him, that's a good rotation. You love to see that happen. So now I'm thinking, just like you guys are, Mike, get that damn wide receiver. We gotta get guys, but at this point, it would be a reach based on any wide receiver you would have taken at 37 is not going to be as productive and as big of a difference maker on your team as Christian Barmore would. Now, I might eat those words at some point, but that's okay. So going down to the third round, the nice pick that they have in the third round at number 69 overall. man, Landon Dickerson. I think Landon Dickerson's the best center in this draft. And if you're going BPA, for my money, he was the best player available here. And look, if he's there, I think they pick. I think it's the easiest pick to make for them. You could have gone Aaron Robinson here, but Aaron Robinson is we'll talk about him in a minute, but we won't even talk about him right now. I don't think he's as good as who I got at 110, to be honest with you. So Landon Dickerson is really interesting because he's a little bit different. He's different from centers they've had in the past and centers that it seems like Zach Taylor's looking for. What I mean by that is Trey Hopkins is probably pretty stereotypical mold of what this offense needs, which is an athletic center, smart center. Not saying Landon Dickerson's not smart, but he's not nearly as athletic as Trey Hopkins. Trey Hopkins and Xavier Su'a-Filo both are really good in athletic pull situations to get in the open field and find somebody to block. Landon Dickerson is more like a pylon. You stick him there, he snaps the quarterback the ball, and good luck moving him, right? He is big, he's mean. Not saying he can't get to the next level and block. I'm saying you might want to scheme to just let him one-on-one these huge nose tackles that are in the AFC North. That allows, so when you don't have to double team those guys, it allows your two guards more flexibility in their assignments. They can even bump and reach up to the second level instead of having to pull around. So it gives you a lot of options. And also Trey, as much as I love Trey Hopkins, he gets bullied in the AFC North with these big defensive interior players because he's not very good against the bull rush. He's athletic enough to reset a lot, right, which helps him, but he gets pushed back. That initial pushback is too much, and it's part of the reason why you saw Mike Jordan. Look, I'm not gonna put blame on anybody. Mike Jordan is who he is. He's not a starter in the NFL, period, and shouldn't be on the field. But that's what we're addressing here. Moving on, and I know you guys are screaming, where the hell are these wide receivers? What are you doing? The problem is they're all reaches at this point. Picking wide receivers here over the players I've already taken, they're all they all would be a reach. So I already told you I don't reach, no reach Mike. That's what they call me. No, they don't call me that. But next pick, Rodarius Williams. I don't know if you guys saw the Senior Bowl tape. But in the one-on-one drills, Rodarius Williams was one of the few corners that stood out as shutting anyone down. That he was very sticky. He's really long. He's got decent makeup speed. He's not as quick laterally as you would like, but he is the type of corner that on the Locked On Bengals podcast last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago, they had on Lou Anarumo, and Lou talked about how he likes length over speed for corner. I don't know how much I believe him as far as like not valuing speed, because historically the Bengals just don't draft slow corners or wide receivers. 4.45 seems to be the slowest they will draft, which Rodarius Williams is he's going to end up running that fast. He'll be great. He's not going to. It's too soon to say he'll be great, but he's a smart player, one-on-one. Man coverage type guy to go opposite of, if they don't bring back William Jackson III, to go opposite of Trey Waynes. And then you've got a pretty solid corner room going on. So let's move on. Now we're starting to get into, I didn't reach for these wide receivers, but I kind of made up my mind. I got to get some wide receivers here. But slotting in, pick 150, going Nico Collins here. Both Nico Collins and Tamorrion Terry are speed guys that have long striders. They're pretty exclusively vertical route trees. You're not going to ask them to go run comebacks or quick outs. Or you shouldn't be asking them to do that. However, they're both 6'3", 6'4", vertical route tree speed guys that if you put a slot corner on one of them, and he gets behind, and one of these, these guys get over the top, and your safety's not there, Joe Burrow is going to be able to find you deep and make you pay for that, right? So taking some pressure off of and Tyler Boyd with a couple of high upside later round picks, and that was the 5th and 6th round respectively. And you guys, you may or may not know about these guys depending on how much studying you've done. But 7th rounders, O'Brien Goodson is a kind of speed rushing, gap shooting defensive interior player out of Memphis. Not super high competition, but what he can do is come in and pass rush downs to spell DJ Reader, to shoot some gaps, fresh legs, get him in there. The best defensive lines the Bengals have put together over the years have been whenever they are deep. You get guys that can rotate in to rush and keep their legs fresh. Offensive linemen don't rotate. If you can keep your defensive linemen fresh, it's a big. And we saw the defensive pass rush suffered last year because they weren't deep at the across the defensive line, and therefore could not keep their players fresh. And you saw that, right? They suffered from that. So this is a step in that direction. You get O'Brien Goodson as a kind of a pure speed rushing, pass rushing defensive interior player. You get Christian Barmore, who's an all-around just really good player. He can stop. He plays well against the run. He plays well against. He plays well in pass rush situations. Really smart player. Just best all-around DT in the draft. And then we'll move on. This is just adding some more depth to the cornerback room here. I thought both of these guys are small school guys that had really high PFF grades. I know that PFF grades are essentially grading against competition, so you have, you got to take consideration. But I'd rather take production guys in later rounds with high grades and high football IQs than some lesser, some basically backup, because what you're looking at here is O'Brien Goodson, Gene Charles here. They're studs for their respective teams. You can either take the studs from these smaller schools, right, who are going to come in with that mindset, or you can take backup players from Big Five conferences who don't have a lot of tape. You're kind of, it's a lot of guesswork, right? Both of them have their upsides and downsides, but I prefer this method, or going with a guy who slid way down the draft board because of injuries, or something like that. You can really take that gamble here, because if they don't work out, it's a 7th round pick, not a huge deal. So I think this has got, obviously this would this draft here would be made way a lot better if the Bengals were to go out in free agency and sign a wide receiver to stretch the field, that a veteran wide receiver. You could even see them bringing in Marvin Jones. He's still out. He's out there as a free agent. It would be great to have him coming on back. That would be, I think, a cool storyline. But there are guys in there. There are guys out there. You can even see them signing a vertical threat tight end in free agency to help with this kind of stuff. So I think this would be a great start, man. You're going a long way to fix the offensive line. They're going to sign some offensive linemen in free agency as well. So you got competition across the board. You're getting depth, and that's what I wanted to show you guys. I'm still a little working, figuring out this whole format and figuring out how I want to do this. As you can see, I got this Discord channel going. I need to set up some social media stuff. I need to figure out how I want to present these episodes. But I wanted to get this out there, give you guys a big ol' Who Dey, and I'll see you next time.